The lights in the classification bureau were always too bright. Tai Yang had worked there for 15 years, and he still squinted when he walked through the main hall. Today his eyes hurt more than usual. He had been staring at screens for 6 hours straight. Another one? Jiwoo asked as she walked up to his desk. She carried 2 cups of hot tea. The steam rose into the cold air of the office. Yes, new planet, new species. Taeyang took the tea and nodded his thanks. They call their world Earth. Jiwoo sat down next to him. She pulled up the data on her own screen. Earth, interesting name. What does it mean? It means ground or soil in their main languages. Taeyang rubbed his tired eyes. They named their planet after dirt. Jiwoo smiled. Practical. I like them already. They both looked at the images on the screen. The species from Earth looked strange, but not too different from other species in the galaxy. They had 2 arms, 2 legs, and 1 head. Their skin came in different colors, brown, tan, pink, and everything in between. They had hair on their heads. Some had it on their faces too. They looked normal enough, Jiwoo said. Category yellow? Maybe green? Taeyang shook his head slowly. I thought so too. But look at this, he pulled up another file. Numbers and graphs filled the screen. Jiwoo leaned closer. Her smile disappeared. Wait. This cannot be right. I checked it 3 times, Taeyang said quietly. The data showed Earth's history. It was not a peaceful history. These humans, as they called themselves, had almost died out many times. Giant rocks from space had hit their planet. The climate had frozen over completely. Volcanoes had erupted and covered the sky with ash. Diseases had killed millions of them, but they survived, every single time. 73 million years, Jiwoo whispered. They have been the dominant species for 73 million years? No, Taeyang corrected her. Their species is only 300,000 years old, but their ancestor species goes back 73 million years. They evolved, adapted, and kept surviving. Jiwoo was quiet for a moment. Then she scrolled through more data. What is this? These numbers for their technological growth? Taeyang felt his stomach tighten. This was the part that scared him. They discovered fire 10,000 years ago. Just 10,000. Do you know what they have now? Nuclear weapons, Jiwoo read from the screen. Her voice was flat. Artificial intelligence. Genetic engineering. Space travel. They went from discovering fire to splitting atoms in 10,000 years.
Less than that.
Most of it happened in the last 200 years. The office suddenly felt colder. Jiwoo set down her tea. Her hand shook slightly. Taeyang. The Velkari took 50,000 years to reach space. The Rothans took 80,000. These humans did it in 12,000 years. From stone tools to rockets, they sat in silence. Around them, other workers typed on their computers and talked about their own classification projects. None of them understood what Taeyang and Jiwoo had just discovered. There is more, Taeyang said. He did not want to show her. But she needed to see. He opened another file. This one had no numbers, only images and videos that the observation drones had collected. The first image showed a city burning. Humans fought other humans in the streets. The next image showed a massive explosion. A mushroom cloud rose into the sky. Then another image of millions of humans standing in lines, thin and starving, behind wire fences. They fight each other, Jiwoo said softly. Their own species. They have always fought each other. They have had thousands of wars. Maybe tens of thousands. We stopped counting. More images appeared. Weapons of every kind. Swords, guns, bombs, missiles. Humans had created so many ways to kill. But then Taeyang showed her something else. Images of humans saving each other from floods. Humans sharing food during famines. Humans creating beautiful art, music, and buildings. Humans holding their children. Humans teaching, learning, and laughing together. I do not understand, Jiwoo said. They are violent, but also kind? They destroy, but also create? Yes, both, always both. Taeyang closed the files. That is what makes them dangerous. They are not just violent like the Karathi were. They are not just smart like the Rothans. They are everything at once. They can love and hate with equal strength. They can build and destroy in the same day. Jiwoo stood up and walked to the window. Outside, ships flew peacefully through space. The galaxy had been at peace for over 10,000 years. No wars, no conflicts, just negotiation, trade, and cooperation. What do we tell the council? She asked. Taeyang did not answer right away. He looked at the data one more time. These humans were dangerous. But were they evil? He did not think so. They were just intense. Everything about them was turned up too high. Their emotions, their ambitions, their conflicts, their love. We tell them the truth, he finally said. 3 hours later, Tai Yang stood in front of the council chamber. Hyun-woo, the Velkari representative, sat at the high desk. His blue skin looked pale under the lights. He had already read the report. You are certain about this classification? Hyun-woo asked. His voice was quiet but firm. Yes, sir, I am certain. Category Red has only been used twice in 5,000 years, I know, sir. Both times we had to quarantine the species. We could not let them join the galactic community. I know that too, sir. Hyun-woo looked down at the report on his desk. He was quiet for a long time. Finally, he looked up at Tai Yang. You understand what this means? If we classify them as Category Red, we are saying they are a threat to the entire galaxy. We are saying they are too dangerous to contact, too dangerous to trust. Tai Yang thought about the images he had seen. Humans laughing with their families. Humans crying over their dead. Humans reaching for the stars with determination in their eyes. They are dangerous, he said carefully, but not in the way we think. They are dangerous because they do not give up. Ever. They survived ice ages, asteroids, plagues, and their own wars. They kept going. If we make them our enemy, they will not stop. If we try to control them, they will resist. They are dangerous because they refuse to break. Then what do you suggest? Tai Yang took a deep breath. I suggest we classify them as Category Red. We quarantine them, and then we watch very carefully, because one day we might need to decide if they are a threat or an ally, and I am not sure which scares me more. Hyun-woo stamped the report with his seal. The red ink looked like blood on the white paper. Category Red. Approved. Far away on planet Earth, humans went about their day. They did not know that the galaxy had just noticed them. They did not know that they had been marked as dangerous. They did not know that their future had just changed forever, but they would find out soon, and the galaxy would never be the same. The message arrived on a Tuesday morning. Sun-ho was drinking coffee in his office at the United Nations building when every screen in the room turned bright blue. Not just his screens, every screen in the entire building. Every screen in every government building across the planet. Then a voice spoke. It did not speak Korean, English, Chinese, or any human language, but somehow everyone understood it perfectly. People of Earth, we are the Galactic Council. We have been watching you. You are not alone in the universe. Sun-ho dropped his coffee cup. It shattered on the floor, but he did not notice. He stared at the screen as strange symbols appeared, then translated themselves into words he could read. Your species has been classified as Category Red. This means you are considered dangerous to galactic peace. Effective immediately, your planet is under quarantine. You may not leave your solar system. Any attempt to do so will be stopped. This is for the safety of all civilizations. We are sorry. Then the screens went back to normal. But nothing was normal anymore. The world exploded into chaos. Every news channel showed the same thing. Every person talked about the same thing. Aliens were real. And they thought humans were too dangerous. Sun-ho sat down slowly. His hands were shaking. He had been a soldier for 20 years before becoming a diplomat. He had fought in wars. He had seen death. But this was different. This was bigger than any war. His phone rang. It was the Secretary General. Sun-ho. Emergency meeting. Now. The meeting room was packed. Leaders from every nation sat around the table. Some looked angry. Some looked scared. All of them looked confused. They called us dangerous, the Russian president said. They put us in a cage like animals. Maybe they have a reason, the Chinese premier replied. Have you looked at our history? We have done terrible things to each other. That is our business, the American president said sharply. Not theirs. Sun-ho listened to them argue. He understood their anger. But anger would not help them now. We need to respond, he said quietly. Everyone stopped talking and looked at him. We need to send a message back. We need to talk to them. And say what? Someone asked. Please do not put us in a cage. No, we asked for a hearing. We asked to defend ourselves. Every civilization has laws, right? They must have some kind of justice system. The Secretary General nodded slowly. Sun-ho is right. We cannot just accept this. We need to make our case. Who goes? The French president asked. Who speaks for all of humanity? Everyone looked at Sunho. He felt the weight of their eyes on him. I will go, he said. But I need a team. 3 days later, Sunho stood in a hangar looking at Earth's first real spaceship. It was small and crude compared to what the aliens probably had, but it was fast and it could reach the edge of the solar system. It is not much, Minji said beside him. She was the best pilot humanity had. She had trained for Mars missions. Now she would fly to meet aliens. But it will get us there. Will it get us through their quarantine barrier? Sunho asked. Minji grinned. I made some modifications. If their barrier is energy-based, I can slip through. Probably. Probably? 90% sure, Sunho sighed. Good enough. The third member of their team walked up. Daeun carried a tablet full of data. She was a scientist, one of the smartest people on Earth. She had learned everything she could about the message in 3 days. I analyzed the transmission, she said without greeting. The translation technology is incredible. It reads brain patterns and converts meaning directly. No language barrier. Is that good or bad? Sunho asked. Both. It means we can communicate perfectly. But it also means they can read us perfectly. We cannot hide what we mean. The fourth team member joined them. Jae-hyun was head of security. He was tall and quiet, and his eyes never stopped moving. He looked at the ship with suspicion. I do not like this, he said. We are flying into unknown space. They could kill us easily. They could, Sunho agreed. But they did not. They warned us first. That means something. It means they follow rules, Daeun said, which means we have a chance. They boarded the ship. The interior was cramped. 4 seats, basic supplies, and the modified engine that Minji had built. As they strapped in, Sunho looked at his team. Once we launch, there is no going back. Are you ready? No, Jae-hyun said honestly. But let us go anyway. Minji started the engine. The ship lifted off smoothly. They flew up through Earth's atmosphere, past the moon, past Mars. The stars grew brighter. Space grew darker. There, Daeun pointed at her screen. The quarantine barrier. I can see the energy field. It looked like a wall of shimmering light surrounding the entire solar system, beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Hold on, Minji said. Her fingers flew over the controls. The ship shook as she adjusted the engine frequency, matching the barrier's vibration. Almost there, almost. The ship punched through the barrier like a needle through cloth. Alarms blared for a moment, then went quiet. We are through, Minji said. She sounded surprised. We actually made it through. Jae-hyun checked his screens. And we have company. 10 ships, 20-30, they are surrounding us. The alien ships appeared on all sides. They were sleek and silver, shaped like teardrops. They moved with perfect precision, forming a circle around the small human vessel. A voice came through their radio. The same translation magic made it understandable. Human vessel. You have violated quarantine. Stop your engines immediately. Sunho picked up the radio. This is Ambassador Sunho of Earth. We request a hearing before the Galactic Council. We have the right to defend ourselves. Silence. Then you have no rights. You are category red. Then change our category. Let us prove we are not a threat. More silence. Sunho could feel his heart pounding. This was it. They would either be destroyed or heard. Nothing in between. Finally, the voice came back. Stand by. They waited. Minutes felt like hours. The alien ships did not move. Neither did the human ship. Then, your request has been forwarded to the council. They will decide. You will follow us to Terminus Prime. Do not attempt to run. Do not attempt to fight. If you do, we will destroy you instantly. Understood, Sunho said. We will follow. The alien ships began to move. Minji guided their ship into formation. They flew deeper into unknown space, surrounded by weapons that could kill them in a heartbeat. Daeun looked at the data streaming across her screens. Sunho, I found something interesting. What? The galaxy has been at peace for 10,000 years. No wars, no conflicts at all. That is good, right? Daeun looked at him with worried eyes. Maybe. Or maybe it means they forgot how to fight. They see us as dangerous because they have never met anyone truly dangerous. They live in peace because nothing has challenged them. Jae-hyun understood first. You are saying they are afraid of us because they have never had to be afraid of anything else. Yes, which makes this worse. They do not fear us because of what we have done. They fear us because of what we could do. Sunho looked out the window at the alien ships. Somewhere ahead was Terminus Prime and the Galactic Council. Somewhere behind was Earth, small and blue and alone. Then we show them, he said quietly. We show them that fear and respect are not the same thing. We show them that dangerous does not mean evil. And if they do not listen, Minji asked. Sunho thought about his years as a soldier. The battles he had fought. The friends he had lost. The peace he had helped build. Then we show them why they were right to be afraid. The ship flew on into the dark. Terminus Prime was the most beautiful thing Sunho had ever seen. The station floated in space like a giant crystal, catching the light of 3 nearby stars. It was massive, bigger than any city on Earth. Thousands of ships moved around it like insects around a flower. How many species are here? Minji whispered as they approached. The database says 247, Da-un answered. All living together. All peaceful. Jae-hyun said nothing, but his hand stayed near his sidearm. Sunho understood. Peace was good, but peace made people soft. If trouble came, would these people know how to handle it? They docked at a small landing bay. When the doors opened, a group of aliens waited for them. Sunho recognized one from the files Da-un had shown him. Blue skin, 4 arms, gentle eyes, Velkari. But the Velkari was not smiling. None of them were. I am Hyunwoo, the Velkari said. I will escort you to the council chamber. You will speak to defend your species. But I warn you, the evidence against you is strong. We understand, Sunho replied. Thank you for giving us this chance. They walked through corridors made of materials Earth had never discovered. Other aliens stopped to stare at the humans. Some looked curious. Most looked afraid. One species backed away quickly as if the humans carried disease. They think we are monsters, Da-un said quietly. Then we prove them wrong, Sunho said. The council chamber was enormous. Hundreds of seats rose in circles, each one holding a representative from a different species. At the center was a speaking platform. That was where Sunho would stand, alone, exposed. At the high desk sat an ancient creature. Her skin was pale gray and her eyes were completely black. She moved slowly as if every motion required great effort. This was Haiwan, one of the oldest beings in the galaxy, Ambassador Sunho of Earth. Her voice was soft but filled the entire chamber. You stand before the Galactic Council to contest your Category Red classification. Do you understand the charges? I do, Elder Haiwan. Then we will begin. Xenobiologist Taeyang will present the evidence. Taeyang stepped onto the platform opposite Sunho. He looked uncomfortable. His hands shook slightly as he activated the display screens. Honored Council, Taeyang began. I present the case for Earth's Category Red classification. The screens lit up with images of Earth, but not the beautiful Earth that Sunho loved. These were images of war. Soldiers shooting at each other. Cities burning. Bodies lying in the streets. Humans have engaged in continuous warfare for their entire history, Taeyang said. His voice was steady, but he would not look at Sunho. They fight over resources. They fight over beliefs. They fight over land. Sometimes they fight for no reason we can understand. More images appeared. Weapons. So many weapons. Swords, guns, tanks, missiles. The council members shifted in their seats. Some covered their eyes. They have created thousands of ways to kill, Taeyang continued. This is a nuclear weapon. One bomb can destroy an entire city. They built thousands of these. They pointed them at each other. They came close to destroying their own planet. Multiple times, a council member stood up. He was tall and thin with green skin. Why? Why would they do this? Taeyang had no answer. He just showed more images. Concentration camps. Genocide. Slavery. Every terrible thing humanity had ever done was displayed for the galaxy to see. Sunho felt sick, not because the images were lies. They were not. They were true. All of it was true. They have killed over 1 billion of their own species in organized conflicts, Taeyang said. 1 billion. This does not count individual crimes, accidents, or disease. Just war. Just murder on a massive scale. The council was silent. The silence was worse than anger. This is why they are Category Red, Taeyang finished. He looked tired, sad. They are too dangerous. If we let them join the galactic community, they will bring their violence with them. We cannot risk it. I recommend permanent quarantine. He sat down. The council members whispered to each other. Sunho could hear their fear. Haiwan turned her black eyes to Sunho. You may speak now, Ambassador. Defend your species, Sunho stepped forward. His mouth was dry. What could he say? Everything Taiyang showed them was true. Humans had done terrible things, but that was not the whole truth, honored council, he began. I will not lie to you. Everything you saw is real. We have done terrible things. We have killed. We have destroyed. We have hurt each other in ways that sicken me to remember. He paused. The council waited. But that is not all we are. May I show you something else? Haewon nodded slowly. Sunho activated his own display. New images appeared. A human firefighter carrying a child from a burning building. Doctors working without sleep to save lives during a pandemic. Scientists sharing their discoveries freely. Artists creating beauty. Teachers helping students learn. We also save each other, Sunho said. We also heal. We also teach and learn and create. For every weapon we made, we also made medicine. For every war, we also made peace. He showed them more. Humans of different colors working together. Humans feeding the hungry. Humans protecting endangered animals. Humans reaching into space not to conquer but to explore. You see us as violent. You are right. But you do not see why we are violent. We are violent because we refuse to give up. When asteroids hit our planet, we survived. When ice covered everything, we survived. When disease killed millions, we kept going. We fight because we will not die. We fight because we protect what we love. A council member stood. But you fight each other. You kill your own kind. Yes, Sunho admitted. We do. And every time we do, some of us stand up and say never again. We make mistakes. Terrible mistakes. But we learn, we change. 300 years ago, most of my people were slaves or servants to kings. Now we choose our leaders. We are not perfect, but we are trying to be better. Another council member spoke. How can we trust you? How do we know you will not bring war to our galaxy? Sunho looked directly at Haewon. You cannot know. Just like I cannot know if you will be fair to us. Trust is a choice. You can choose to fear us, or you can choose to know us, he gestured to his team. This is Minji. She is a pilot. She is brave and smart. She risked her life to bring us here. This is Dayun. She is a scientist. She wants to learn everything about the universe. This is Jaehyun. He is a protector. He will die before he lets harm come to innocent people. They are human. Like me. Are we perfect? No. Are we dangerous? Yes, but we are also good. We are also capable of great kindness. That is not enough, Taeyang said quietly. He stood again. Good intentions do not erase history. You are right, Sunho agreed. History cannot be erased, but it can be learned from. He pulled out one more file. May I call a witness? Haewon looked surprised but nodded. Young Sik walked onto the platform. He was older than Sunho, with gray hair and kind eyes. He was a historian, an expert on human civilization. Tell them, Sunho said. Tell them what you told me. Young Sik faced the council. I have studied human history for 50 years. Yes, we have had wars. But do you know how long our current era of relative peace has lasted? 80 years. No major wars between the great powers. No nuclear weapons used in anger. 80 years of cooperation. That is nothing, a council member scoffed. We have had 10,000 years of peace. Yes, Young Sik said. But you had peace because everyone agreed to it. We had peace because we chose it. Even when we wanted to fight, even when we were angry. We chose peace because we remembered what war cost us. That is harder. That takes more strength. The council was quiet again, but this silence felt different. Thoughtful. Haewon leaned forward. Ambassador Sunho, I will ask you a direct question. If another species threatened Earth, what would you do? Sunho knew this was the important question, the one that mattered most. He could lie. He could say humans would talk, negotiate, find peaceful solutions. But Daon had been right. The translation technology read intent. They would know if he lied, we would fight, he said simply. We would fight with everything we have. We would use every weapon, every strategy, every advantage we could find. We would not stop until the threat was gone or we were dead. The council erupted in noise. Angry voices. Fearful voices. Silence, Haewon commanded. The chamber went quiet. She looked at Sunho for a long moment. That is what I feared you would say. But, Sunho continued, we would also try to talk first. We would try to understand. We would try to find another way. Because we know what war costs. We would fight only if we had no choice. And after the fight, we would try to make peace. Because that is also what we do. Haewon stood slowly. The council will deliberate. You will wait outside. As they left the chamber, Jae-hyun whispered, "Did we win?" "I do not know," Sun-ho said honestly. They waited in a small room. Minutes became hours. Finally, the doors opened. But it was not Hae-won who entered. It was Tae-yang. "I wanted to tell you," he said quietly. "You spoke well." "I hope." An alarm cut him off. A loud screaming alarm that shook the walls. "What is that?" Tae-hyun asked. Tae-yang's face went pale. "That is the attack alarm. Terminus Prime is under attack." "By who?" Sun-ho demanded. "I do not know. We have not been attacked in 10,000 years. We do not." An explosion rocked the station. The lights flickered. Jae-hyun grabbed his weapon. "Where is your defense center?" "Defense center?" "We do not have." Another explosion. Closer this time, Sun-ho looked at his team. The third explosion threw them against the wall. Sun-ho grabbed Tae-yang before he fell. "Where is the council?" Sun-ho shouted over the alarm. "Still in the chamber. They are trapped. The main corridors are blocked. Show me the fastest route." "But the attackers—" "Show me!" Tae-yang pulled up a map on his tablet with shaking hands. Sun-ho memorized it in 3 seconds. Old military training never disappeared. "Jae-hyun, Minji, get to our ship. Get it ready to fight." "With what weapons?" Minji asked. "We have nothing." "Then make something. Use the engine, the fuel, anything. Just give me something that can hurt them." They ran. Sun-ho and Da-eun went toward the council chamber. Jae-hyun and Minji went to the landing bay. Another explosion. The walls shook. Smoke filled the corridors. Aliens ran past them, screaming in languages Sun-ho did not know. But fear sounded the same in every language. "What is attacking us?" Da-eun asked as they ran. "I do not know, but they picked the right time. Everyone is here for the council meeting." They reached the council chamber. The main doors were crushed inward. Inside they could hear shouting and crying. Sun-ho and Da-eun squeezed through the gap. The chamber was chaos. The beautiful ceiling had collapsed in one section. Several council members lay injured. Others tried to help them. Hae-won stood in the center, calm despite the panic around her. "Ambassador Sun-ho," she said when she saw him. "You should have run. Humans do not run when others need help." "Where are the attackers coming from?" A council member pointed to the viewing screens that still worked. They showed the outside of the station. Ships surrounded Terminus Prime. They were black and angular, covered in weapons. They fired continuously at the station's shields. "The shields are failing," someone said. 10 minutes. "Maybe less. What are those ships?" Sun-ho asked. "Korathi," Hyun-woo answered. He had blood on his blue skin. "We thought they were extinct. They disappeared 2,000 years ago. They were the reason we created the Category Red classification in the first place. Why are they attacking now?" "I do not know. But they will not stop until we are all dead." "That is what they do." Sun-ho watched the screens. The Korathi ships moved with precision. Military precision. This was not random violence. This was a planned attack. "Where is your defense fleet?" "Fighting," Hyun-woo said. "But they are losing." "Look." The screens showed council ships engaging the Korathi. But the council ships were slow, clumsy. They flew in perfect formations but could not adapt. When the Korathi changed tactics, the council ships could not respond fast enough. "They are trained for ceremonies, not combat," Tae-yang said quietly. "We have not fought a war in 10,000 years. We forgot how." Sun-ho felt a cold anger settle in his stomach. These people were going to die because they had forgotten how to protect themselves. They had lived in peace for so long that they had become helpless. "Do you have a communication system that reaches your fleet?" "Yes, but—" "Give it to me," Hyun-woo hesitated. Hae-won nodded. "Let him try." Sun-ho took the communicator. "This is Ambassador Sun-ho of Earth to all council defense ships. I am taking tactical command." Silence. Then an angry voice. "You have no authority here, human. I have combat experience, do you?" More silence. "Commander Do-hyun here," a different voice said. "I command the defense fleet." "What do you suggest, Ambassador?" Sun-ho looked at the screens. He counted the enemy ships. 32. The council had 50 ships, but they were already down to 43. Numbers did not matter if you did not know how to use them. Break your formation. Stop flying in straight lines. You are making yourselves easy targets, but the protocols— forget the protocols. Split into groups of 3. Use the station as cover. Lead them into crossfire positions. I do not understand. Just do it. Trust me. A pause. Then, all ships break formation. Groups of 3. Follow the humans' instructions. The council ships scattered. The Korathi fired at them, but now they were harder to hit. Good. That bought some time. Group Alpha, draw the enemy toward Section 9. Group Beta, wait behind the station's north tower. When Alpha passes, attack from the side. He watched as the ships moved. It was clumsy at first, but they followed orders. Group Alpha led 5 Korathi ships right into Group Beta's ambush. 2 enemy ships exploded. It worked. Do-hyun sounded amazed. Keep moving. Never stay in one place. Use speed and surprise. In the landing bay, Minji and Jae-hyun reached their ship. The bay was on fire in 3 places. Other ships were trying to launch, crashing into each other in panic. We need weapons, Jae-hyun said. Minji looked at their small ship. Then she smiled. We have one. The engine. What? If I overload it and vent the plasma, it becomes a weapon. Not a good weapon, but better than nothing. Will the ship survive? Probably not. But we are not planning to survive anyway, right? Jae-hyun laughed despite the situation. Right, they launched. Their small ship flew out of the bay and into the battle. A Korathi ship immediately targeted them. Here they come, Minji said. She flew straight at the enemy ship, then spun at the last second. The Korathi weapons missed, barely. That was close. Close is good enough. Hold on. She flew under the station, between the towers, through spaces that larger ships could not follow. The Korathi ship chased them. It was faster, stronger, better armed, but Minji was better at flying. Jae-hyun, get ready. When I say now, vent the plasma. Got it. Minji led the Korathi ship through a narrow gap between 2 station sections. On the other side, 3 council ships waited. Sun-ho had positioned them there. Now, Jae-hyun vented the plasma. A stream of superheated gas shot from their engine directly into the Korathi ship's sensors. The enemy ship went blind for 3 seconds. That was enough. The 3 council ships fired. The Korathi ship exploded. 1 down, Minji said. Only 31 to go. In the council chamber, Da-eun worked with Ji-woo. They had found each other in the chaos and immediately started working on the station systems. The shields are at 15%, Ji-woo said. When they fail, the station will be defenseless. Can we boost them? Not enough. We need more power, Da-eun thought fast. What if we stop boosting the entire shield? Focus all power on the critical sections. Let the empty parts of the station be exposed. But that violates safety protocols. Do you want to follow protocols or survive? Ji-woo looked at her. Then she smiled. I like you, human. Let us break some rules. They rerouted the power. The shields shrank but grew stronger. The Korathi weapons hit harder, but the shields held. It is working, Ji-woo said. We bought more time. Sun-ho continued directing the fleet. More Korathi ships fell. But council ships fell too. They were learning to fight, but learning cost lives. Sun-ho, Da-eun called. I found something. The Korathi are coordinating through a command ship. It is the big one in the center. Sun-ho saw it. Twice as large as the others. Heavily armored. If we destroy it, the others lose coordination. Yes, but it is too strong. Our weapons barely scratch it, Sun-ho thought. 1 strong target. Limited weapons. How do you kill something bigger than you? Then he remembered. Old Earth military strategy. Used by his ancestors centuries ago. Do-hyun, gather every available ship. We are going to ram it. Ram it? That is suicide. Not ram. Get close. Really close. Then fire everything at point-blank range into the same spot. Overwhelm 1 section of its shields. That will expose us to its weapons, I know. That is why we need a distraction. Minji, can you hear me? Barely. Our communications are fried. I need you to do something crazy. Finally. I was getting bored. Fly directly at the command ship. Make it think you are going to ram it. Make it focus on you. Minji understood immediately. So everyone else can get close while it shoots at us. Yes. We will die. Probably. Okay. Let us do it. Minji turned their damaged ship toward the massive command ship. Jae-hyun checked their weapons. They had almost nothing left. For Earth, he said quietly. For humanity, Minji agreed. They flew straight at the command ship. It was like flying at a mountain. Every weapon on the ship targeted them. Space filled with energy blasts, Minji dodged. Left, right, up, down. The ship screamed in protest. Pieces flew off. Alarms blared. But she kept flying. Closer, Sun-ho said over the radio. Get it to focus only on you. Working on it. The command ship fired its main cannon. The blast missed Minji by centimeters. The heat scorched their hull. Now, Sun Ho ordered. 20 council ships flew in from all directions. The command ship tried to retarget, but it was too late. 20 ships all firing at the same spot on the shield. The shield flickered. Died. Again, Sun Ho shouted. 20 ships fired into the unprotected hull. Explosions rippled across the command ship. It began to list, then to spin, then it exploded. The blast was so bright that everyone had to look away. When they looked back, the command ship was gone, and the other Korathi ships were floating, motionless. Without their command ship, they did not know what to do. Destroy them, Do-hyun ordered. His voice was hard. Show no mercy. No, Sun Ho said. Offer them surrender. Give them a chance. They would not give us a chance, I know. But we are not them. Offer surrender. Do-hyun sent the message. Most Korathi ships did not respond. The council fleet destroyed them. But 3 ships powered down their weapons. They surrendered. In the council chamber, everyone was silent. They had watched the entire battle on the screens. They had watched humans fight. They had watched humans lead. They had watched humans save them. Haewon looked at Sun Ho with her ancient eyes. You fought for us. Yes, why? We were about to quarantine you forever. Why save us? Sun Ho was tired. His voice was tired. But his answer was clear. Because you needed help. That is what humans do. 2 weeks passed. The council chamber had been rebuilt. The walls were new, but the scars remained. Everyone who sat in those seats remembered the attack. They remembered the fear, and they remembered who saved them. Sun Ho stood in the same spot where he had defended humanity before, but this time felt different. The council members did not look at him with fear. They looked at him with something else, respect, maybe even gratitude. Minji sat in the audience, her arm in a sling. Jae-hyun had bandages on his head. Dain looked tired but alert. They had all survived, but barely. Their ship had not survived. It was scrap metal now, floating in space. Haewon stood slowly. The ancient being looked even older now. The attack had taken something from her. 2 weeks ago, this council was prepared to quarantine humanity forever. We saw you as a threat. We saw you as dangerous. We were afraid of what you might do to our galaxy. She paused. The chamber was silent. Then the Korathi came. They came to destroy us. They came to end 10,000 years of peace. And they almost succeeded. Haewon looked directly at Sun Ho. You could have let us die. You could have taken your ship and returned to Earth. No one would have blamed you. We had treated you as criminals. We had caged your planet. You owed us nothing. But you did not leave. You fought. You led our ships. You saved our people. You risked your lives for beings who feared you. Another council member stood. It was Hyunwoo the Valkyrie. His injuries had healed, but his eyes showed pain. I must confess something, Hyunwoo said. I voted to quarantine humanity. I believed you were too dangerous. I thought your violence would destroy our peace. He looked at his hands. All 4 of them shook slightly. But I was wrong. Not about your danger. You are dangerous. But I was wrong about what that means. I have lived 300 years in peace. I thought peace meant the absence of violence. I was wrong. Peace means having the strength to protect what matters, but choosing not to use it unless necessary. A young council member stood. She had green skin and large eyes. Her name was Bora, and she represented one of the newer species. I am young, she said. I have only lived 50 years. I have never seen war. I have only read about it in history files. When the Korathi attacked, I did not know what to do. I froze. I was useless, she looked at Sun Ho with admiration. But you knew exactly what to do. You did not freeze. You did not panic. You acted. Where I saw chaos, you saw strategy. Where I saw hopelessness, you saw opportunity. You have something we lost. You remember how to fight. Taeyang stood next. Sun Ho was surprised to see him. Honored Council, I classified humanity as Category Red. I stand by that classification. They are dangerous. But I want to amend my report. He pulled up new data on the screens. Not images of war this time. Images of the battle. Images of Sun Ho directing the fleet. Images of Minji flying her damaged ship. Images of humans and aliens working together. Humans are dangerous to their enemies, Taeyang said. But they are invaluable to their friends. Yes, they know how to fight. But more importantly, they know why to fight. They fight to protect. They fight to save. They fight because someone must, and they are willing to bear that burden. Jiwoo stood beside him. I worked with Da-eun during the attack. She taught me things in 3 hours that should take years to learn. She thought differently than I did. Where I saw problems, she saw solutions. Where I saw limits, she saw possibilities. Humans do not accept that something cannot be done. They find a way. Do-hyun entered the chamber. The fleet commander looked different now. Harder. Older. Battle did that to people. I lost 37 ships in that battle, he said. His voice was rough. 37 crews. Good people. They died because I did not know how to lead them in combat. I had studied tactics, but I had never used them. I was playing a game. The humans were fighting a war. He saluted Sunho. A military salute. You saved more lives than I can count, Ambassador. You took command when I failed. You led when I could not. I owe you my life. We all do. Haewon raised her hand for silence. We have heard many words. Now we must make a decision. The Korathi may return. We captured 3 of their ships. We interrogated the survivors. They told us their main fleet is coming. Hundreds of ships. Maybe thousands. They want to conquer the galaxy. Fear rippled through the council. Sunho felt it. The same fear he had felt before battles on Earth. The fear of knowing something terrible was coming and being unable to stop it. We have a choice, Haewon continued. We can maintain humanity's quarantine. We can hope the Korathi do not find Earth. We can face this threat alone. She paused. Or we can do something we have never done before. We can ask humanity to help us. Not as prisoners. Not as criminals. But as allies. As protectors. As warriors who fight for what is right. Bora stood again. I propose a new classification. Keep Category Red, but change its meaning. Category Red should not mean threat. It should mean protector. It should mean warrior. It should mean those who are dangerous by necessity, not by choice. Seconded, Hyunwoo said immediately. We need more than classification. Another member said. We need action. We need training. We need humans to teach us how to fight. Sunho finally spoke. The council is asking us to become your military. Your weapon. Your defense. No, Haewon said firmly. We are asking you to become our teachers. Our partners. Our friends. We do not want to use you. We want to learn from you. And in return, we offer you our knowledge, our technology, our friendship. And if we say no, Sunho asked, then we respect your choice. You return to Earth. We lift the quarantine. You are free, but we hope you will say yes. Sunho looked at his team. Minji nodded. Jaehyun gave a thumbs up. Tuggan smiled. We need to discuss this with our leaders on Earth, Sunho said. Of course. Take all the time you need. The transmission to Earth took 3 hours. Sunho explained everything to the Secretary General. The attack. The offer. The choice. What do you think we should do? The Secretary General asked. Sunho thought about it. Humanity had spent so long fighting each other. Maybe it was time to fight for something bigger. Something better. I think we should say yes, but with conditions. What conditions? We do not become the galaxy's soldiers. We become the galaxy's teachers. We share what we know, but they must also teach us. We learn from each other. We grow together. And if the Korathi come, then we fight together, not as humans and aliens, as one galaxy defending itself. The Secretary General was quiet for a moment, then agreed. Make the deal, Ambassador. Sunho returned to the council chamber. Every seat was filled. Every eye was on him. Earth accepts your offer. We will help you prepare for the Korathi. We will teach you what we know about combat, tactics, and strategy, but we ask for something in return. Name it, Haewon said. Teach us about peace. Real peace. The kind that lasts 10,000 years. We know how to fight, but we are still learning how to stop fighting. Help us learn, Haewon smiled. It was the first time Sunho had seen her smile. Agreed, the council voted. Every member raised their hand. Unanimous. Category Red, Haewon announced. Humanity is classified as Category Red. Protectors of the galaxy. Welcome to the Galactic Council, Ambassador Sunho of Earth. The chamber erupted in cheers. Aliens of every species stood and applauded. Sunho felt tears in his eyes. He had come here expecting judgment. He found acceptance instead. Minji would stay at Terminus Prime training pilots. Jaehyun would help redesign the defense systems. Daeun would work with Jiwoo, sharing knowledge. And Sunho would serve as Earth's first true ambassador to the stars. That night, Sunho stood at a window looking at Earth. So small. So far away. So beautiful, Tae-young found him there. Cannot sleep? Too much to think about. I wanted to apologize. I judged your species without really knowing you. You were not wrong. We are dangerous, but you are also kind, also brave, also willing to sacrifice for others. I missed that in my report, Sunho smiled. We are complicated, all of us. That is what makes us human. What happens now? Now we prepare. The Korathi are coming, but they will find something they do not expect. They will find a galaxy that learned to fight. A galaxy that stands together. A galaxy protected by beings who know the cost of war and the value of peace. You think we can win? Sunho looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Korathi fleet was coming. Hundreds of ships full of warriors who thought the galaxy was weak. They were wrong. We are humans, Sunho said quietly. We have survived ice ages, asteroids, plagues, and our own stupidity. We do not give up. We do not surrender. And now we are not alone. We have allies, friends, a galaxy standing with us. He turned to Tae-Yang. Can we win? I do not know, but I promise you this. The Korathi will learn the same lesson the galaxy learned. Humans are category red. And that means when you threaten what we protect, we will show you exactly why you should have been afraid. Far away on Earth, people looked up at the stars. They knew humanity was no longer alone. They knew danger was coming, but they also knew something else. Humanity had joined the galaxy, and the galaxy would never be the same. Category red, not as a warning, as a promise. The story of humanity and the stars had just begun. The end.